Hi, you're watching Infrared. This is our DIY ghost box kit. So this is one of several kits that we sell. So if you're decent at soldering and you feel like tackling one of these, you can buy the kits on our website. So just to give you a quick demo. So you've got a volume control, and then you've also got this one, which is a reverb.
Soldier in the
So we'll just turn that down a minute and we'll explain the components of the kit. So you get a 4AA battery holder, a pulse circuit, an FM module, a scan switch, a reverb circuit, an amplifier and a little speaker. We're just sat in this little stand for now, don't actually get the stand. So if we start by looking, we'll explain the wiring that's done. So battery pack goes to these two terminals at the top. So you've got positive and negative. You can see the polarity on the top of the board. And if you want a copy of the circuit from this YouTube tutorial, and you can see the negative is on the left, positive is on the right. So that's where we usually start. But then we daisy chain the positive, working from right to left. So we daisy chain the positive to, you can either use the positive terminal, the screw terminal, but we prefer to solder directly to the board. So again, positive is indicated just there on the board, on the solder resist. You've got the legend there. So you've got positive and negative to the board, and then you just link in the positive to the reverb, and then carry on the daisy chain and link that up to the amp circuit. And what we've done off the top, you can actually carry on with daisy chain, but with to a PWM or the pulse. You can see this has got positive, ground and out. So VCC equals positive. So we've just tack one on the top, but you can carry it on off the daisy chain. So positive and negative from the battery, and then carry the positive to the reverb, the amp and the PWM. So then we'll move to the connections between the radio module and the reverb. So if we flip these over, you'll see a headphone out. So you can actually use the headphones. You can use a 3.5mm headphone jack if you wish, but just to cut down the costs, we solder directly to these pins. So when you're looking at a headphone socket, the pin nearest to the connector is ground, then you've got right, then left. So we join the right and the left, so this pin at the base and the second, well, the middle pin, we join those together with one cable, and then we solder a separate one onto the pad that joins up the one that's nearest to the actual insert of the connector. So then we carry those across, and with the polarity in mind, so you can solder those to the input directly, negative and positive, but again we've chosen to solder those directly to the bottom of the board to make things a bit more stable. So the single connection, that's from this pin nearest to the edge of the connector, goes to negative, and then the two that you joined up, the middle and this pin at this end, they go to the positive. So we'll come back to the other connections on that board at the in a moment. So then you've got the output, positive and negative. Again, we've made those on the underside of the board. It's quite simple this time. So the negative goes, we solder these on the, because it's the only way you can access unless you use a 3.5mm again. But we solder that one, the negative, to the one nearest to the edge of the connector. And because it's a mono amp, it's only got a left hand and not a right hand. So you see some unsoldered pins there, you can ignore those and just solder the positive to these pads just there. Speaker out, so I'll just remake that connection, because as you can see the speaker terminal, when we've used the screws, not the greatest. When you're building things up you can actually use them when you get a bit more familiar with things, but just for now, for the demo, we'll just tack that on there, and then the positive on the positive, so it's just more of a solid connection then. Just check that. So the speaker, I'm saying if you're using a polarity conscious speaker, plus goes on the bottom, negative shouldn't really matter with the speaker. As you can see, some do have a polarity, so if they have, just be conscious of that. So that's all of the connections on the amplifier, all of the connections on the reverb covered. So I just want to go back now to the radio board. So this little one here is an antenna, so you can actually connect that up to a longer piece of wire if you please, or you can connect that to an antenna itself. Right, so PWM board. The final pin that we didn't mention was the output. So the output, soldering a wire to the output, and this button here that says F plus, to the left hand side of that, I'll just see if you can see that, there's a little land on this edge of the connector. Be careful not to short it to the next one, but just solder it to the edge of there. So basically that flashing LED, that's basically just pulsing, and it's sending the radio through its pre-scanned stations. So if you want to adjust the scan speed, it will have a slight effect. You can speed it up if you adjust this pot. These are like about a 10k pot if you want to put an actual potentiometer in there. So that'll actually shorten the samples a little bit between the stations, or if you want a longer snippet. You can slow that down. So we leave it about there. And then finally, this pause button on the right hand side. If you press pause, you'll see that won't do anything, but we've connected this button up by soldering the left hand and the right hand. So if we hold this, you'll see the display starts to circle. So what this will do, this is to suit different regions. So this will start to sweep through the radio stations, and you'll actually hear each station it picks up. for about a second, so it'll take a minute or two at max to scan through the stations for your region. Say in a more sufficient aerial, this one's very short, so it'll probably only pick up about 10 stations, so we'll see how it fares. But if you put in a telescopic aerial or a longer wide aerial, depending whether you want it detuned or tuned, it will dictate how many radio stations you pick up. So it's actually doing quite well. So that's 14. It's obviously going to go to 108, so it's a UK module. It doesn't sweep the dead parts of the FM broadcast as some boxes do. So when it gets to 108, right, so we've got 19 stations. Now it's got to the end, it's just going to scan through those stations. So there's no dead space. It puts a nice constant message together. Got some really good results from these. So that's how the circuit's connected up. And if you want to add the reverb in then, so the kits can be found on our website at infraready.co.uk, or we can build these kits up assembled, and you'll actually find them in some of our vintage radio boxes. So there's a website name, contact details if you want to get in touch, ask any questions or have any requests for custom boxes, etc. Because we can also add EMF, REM circuitry and static E-field detectors. So finally, one last thing, if you please share, like, subscribe, add your comments, it'd be much appreciated. Thanks.